All right, so today we're out here working in the yard on modifying this crate that was a shipping container, and going to be cutting it off here, about keeping this part, moving some of this stuff in to make a cage to make a hog trap. So the idea here is that I don't have to use too much stuff that I'm going to buy. I think I'm gonna have to buy some stuff to make the door with. Not completely sure. Probably gonna make the door on the side. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, but we'll bring you along. All right, so this is what we got so far. I've trimmed it down. I cut what was some of the top off and reutilized all those bolt holes. I've got some scraps here that I'm going to use to make the side, and then we'll get into still not really sure how I'm going to make the door, but we'll have to figure that out when we get to it. All right, so here's what we got so far. I plug welded, this is the side that was the rest of the box. I plug welded the angle iron. I cut off some and plug welded it with already had the bolt together pieces. All right, so I think I've figured out how I'm gonna do the door. Got a piece that's going to slide up and down here. So I've fabricated some. I actually had this piece of metal, so I'm still technically in the clear for saying I didn't have to pay anything for it. So get the door set up to where it stays up here, and there'll be some kind of trip mechanism back there. Not sure if this is just going to be gravity fed or if I'm going to put a spring on it. I would have to buy a spring, so that's kind of weighing heavy on my mind about going spring. All right, so I've got the door in here, so the door can come up and down. But my next concern was, well, once it's down without springs or anything holding it down, like, you know, they could get angry and they could nose and root their way under and get out. So started thinking, you know, how can I, without having to go buy springs, how can I hold this together? And then we started thinking, Dad and I were brainstorming about maybe cutting a little U here and having a spring tab come out, but was concerned with that because I didn't think, I thought that might give it a little bit too much friction. So let me bring you over here and show you what I'm gonna do. You know, this is the working shop, so there's lots of junk. I got this old jack off of my old log trailer, and this pin here, it locks into a ring that's welded onto a faceplate of the trailer, and so it, you know, it indexes. So I'm going to pull this off, some of this L here, and weld this whole bracket on the outside. Drill a pin through that upright there, and that should, as the door comes down, that pin will jack in and hopefully hold that. So I'll bring you back in once I get that on. All right, well, I had to break down and buy some stuff. I bought that pulley and that pulley. It was too much friction with it the way it was without any pulleys. So got about, I think, $11 in it now. So got my root bar here. You can see it's just angle iron, piece of rebar. It's open on this side, so as the deer or as the hog comes in, the idea here is that they will root this and set off the trap. I feel much more comfortable about the way that door works now. Much faster. All right, so here we go. Got it all caged in, got the door up. So this is in the triggered position. Got the rebar trip there. Not sure if that's gonna be the best method, but that's what we're gonna try first. That's what it looks like when the door is fully open. I can also push it up past this for when we wanna just leave it open if we're gonna be out of town or what have you. So let's take a look and see what it does when it's triggered. So trying to figure out the best way. So we'll come in here and that's it. Door's all the way closed. The little latch has set in the dirt nap position. I am concerned about this piece of rebar getting hung up. But yeah, just an experiment, we'll see. And gonna load it up and go set it up tonight.